Hello internet, what's up? It's me again. I'm here doing something a little bit different than I normally do. Today I thought it would be fun to do a rant review, especially because I haven't really been reading that many books this month in March, so I don't know what my end of the month is looking like because I haven't even finished one book yet. I'm reading several right now, but I thought it'd be fun to do a rant review on this one book that I read and I absolutely hated. And I thought this would especially be fun because all over the internet I see that people are like loving it, and I'm just like, what? How can you enjoy this? I literally do not see how this was enjoyable to like anybody. So the book that I'm going to be talking about is Feed by M.T. Anderson. I read this because I had to read it for school, but I definitely feel like I'm valid in my opinions. So basically what this book is about is it's set in the future, and it's like hundreds of years in the future, and it's a really technologically like advanced society, and the feed is something that is implanted inside of you, kind of like having your smartphone, but it's like part of your body. They're constantly getting like bombarded with ads. They can talk to each other without opening their mouths. It controls your dreams. It's part of your body, and it gets integrated with your body at around like a really early age. This way, as you grow, the feed like grows with you. And the main characters are Titus and Violet. And then Titus has his little gang of friends, but they're all kind of the same. So I'm not really going to talk about them that much because they're all just like brats. And Titus is too. Titus is from like he seems to be doing well. He's probably like upper middle class family. Nothing impresses him anymore. He's kind of done it all. Like if he wants to do it, he'll do it. Him and his friends are all very unsympathetic. They don't know how to empathize or sympathize. They don't know how to properly express emotions. None of them, even though there was like, he had like 4 or 5 different friends, none of them really like stood out to me as an individual or as a person that was driving the plot. He really could have had one friend and it would have done the same thing as him having like 4 or 5 different friends. Everybody's so distracted by like their feed. It's all like a consumerism thing. But then along comes Violet, who is different, doesn't like the feed, and is trying to go against the grain. She is not interesting at all to me, even as somebody who was being portrayed as being different, and which usually I feel like most people can relate to that kind of character. I just could not relate to Violet at all. I could not relate to any of these characters, which is also another big reason why I didn't like this book, but we'll get into that later. So basically, Titus and Violet meet on the moon. What happens on the moon is they go to this nightclub, and there's this hacker, and he hacks everybody's feed, and they have to like turn off their feeds. It's a whole thing. But in the end, everybody ends up being fine. And then when they go back to Earth, Titus and Violet start this relationship. Now, Titus and Violet's relationship. Wow. Their relationship was just so toxic, like super, super toxic. When they meet on the moon, they have like their first conversation, and Titus literally describes her as being weird as shit. So you can tell that Titus, throughout the relationship, Titus only really likes her because she hasn't experienced everything that he has, because she doesn't have the funds to do so. So Violet comes from a poorer social class. She didn't have the feed installed immediately. Her parents didn't want her to have it, and then they realized like she's never going to get far in life if she doesn't have it, so they had it installed. But she was, I believe, 7 or something like that when she had it installed, which I guess is late, because she said that she didn't have her feed installed at the same time as everybody else. So when the hacker hacked them, she's having more problems than Titus and his friends. There's this whole bit where they come back from Earth, and Titus's parents are like, oh my god, what you went through is so traumatic. We're gonna get you a car. So they get him a car and he's like all excited about it, like, oh my god, I'm getting my own car. But Titus is trying to decide between these two different models of cars. And also color is like a big factor, and he talks about that a lot with Violet. He's like, which one should I get? Da, 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 da. That's all he talks about. And so they go and get the car, and then there's a portion where Titus and Violet are at Titus's house and they're having like a family dinner. So they're getting ready to leave, and Violet can't get up because she's lost control of one of her legs. So she can't get up from the chair. Titus is like, hey, what's up? Are you okay? And Violet's like, yeah, like I just can't get up. This has been happening. Things have been really rough. I've been losing feeling in parts of certain, like different parts of my body on and off. I just need to sit here for a second and then it'll go away. Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. Probably because this book was boring. If I was just telling you that I've been losing feeling in different parts of my body, like on and off for a minute, like I'm gonna be concerned. Especially if I'm in a relationship with somebody, that's not even like relationship level. If you're my friend and you tell me that you're losing feeling in different parts of your body, and that's been happening for quite some time now, like I'm gonna be concerned. Right? So anyways, she eventually regains feeling in her legs and gets up. They get in the car. She's having this look out the window while it's raining type thing. And he asks, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. But clearly she's not fine. And she goes, what are you thinking about? And then he says he's thinking about whether he got the right model of car. Boy, my mind was blown. I would have broken up with him right on the spot. On the spot. Now listen, I understand they're supposed to be like 17 or something like that, but you're not concerned, like even in the slightest? You're more concerned about the car that you got? Bro, that blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. But anyways, so that just goes to show you how serious Titus is taking the relationship, which is really not at all. What a lot of people say about the relationship at the end is like there's some redeeming qualities. I just don't think that the ending was redeeming at all for Titus. I'm trying not to give anything away in case you want to go and read it, but I just don't think that was enough for me, especially after the several times that he was disrespectful towards her throughout the book. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Violet is also portrayed as like super vulnerable because she was homeschooled and her mom is not really like in the picture. So it's just her and her dad. And she talks a lot about that and about how like just living with her dad, and her dad is like a super weird dude. I think that Titus takes advantage a lot of that. Titus takes her on all these new little adventures, like going underwater. They do underwater shopping. Things like going to the moon are so accessible to Titus, but it took Violet's dad a whole year to save up enough money just to send Violet to the moon so that she could have that experience. But to Titus, that's like something he can do whenever. Like he's on spring break. He's just gonna go to the moon. Like it's not that big of a deal. And so I think that part of Titus's intrigue in Violet is because he's able to show her these new experiences, and because he's already experienced these things. I think that it's part of the fun for him to like bring her along. He even says, like, one of the quotes that I wrote down was, she's always new. That's like one thing that he had said that he likes about her. Now, moving forward and talking about what they like about each other, I have no idea really what Violet likes about Titus. I don't think throughout the entire book, Violet explicitly said, he's a funny guy, he's really witty, or I like the way that he looks, or I like that he's smart, or I like that he's nice to me, because he's not. Like, he's just not likable at all. But apparently she's like totally in love with this guy, And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then Titus's reasons for liking Violet are just insane, just stupid. Like, she's always new. You can't base your whole relationship off of that because eventually they're not going to be new. So it's just the relationship is just super wishy-washy, super toxic. No, I just did not like their relationship at all. And especially since this is targeted towards younger readers, it made me really uncomfortable. Just not good. Just not good at all. Anyways, moving on. I want to talk about the language in the book next, because this is something that a lot of people say is a direct correlation to the way that we speak today. And I can kind of understand that argument, but I don't want to read that. Things that come up a lot in the book are the word like, everything is like, she was like, which I say all the time too, but I don't want to read that. And in addition to that, what really pissed me off, that wasn't that bad, but what really pissed me off was the made up words, the made up slang. I know I speak in slang all the time. I do it all the time. But also, I know that the other people that I'm talking to know what I mean. When you're just throwing made up words out there for, like, I still don't know what unit means, and that comes up a million times. Apparently it means cool. I looked it up. I literally had to look up what the slang meant because it literally made the book unreadable. They were talking about parties, and Link was talking about his parents going to a choking party. Choking parties were really big, I believe was the quote. What the fuck is a choking party? So, and none of it is explained. None of it is explained. That's my problem, where you kind of have to really pick up on the context. But there was the only one instance where they talked about choking parties, and it was like 2 sentences. And I do not know. I did not get any context from those 2 sentences, and a lot of the slang is like that. So it's really hard to follow if you don't know what they're talking about. Also, a lot of other things are not explained. At one point, Violet and Titus go to the beach, and they have to wear hazmat suits because the smell is so bad. But they don't explain what the smell is. I'm assuming that it's trash, but is it just like the sea smell? Because I know when I go to the beach, like, it smells like beach, and maybe that's just not because they're so used to like toxicity and chemicals in the air and stuff like that. Maybe they're not used to that smell, so they have to wear hazmat suit. But literally the quotation is, it's something along the lines of they had to wear hazmat suits because of the smell at the beach. But we're never told what the smell is. We're just told that the sea looks different colors when the sun shines on it a different way, or if you look at it a different way. The couple of colors that were described were like purple, blue, gray, and black, I think were the colors that were described. Which I'm like, that's kind of how the normal like sea looks. I live near the ocean, bro. Like, I know if the sun shines at the sea at a certain time of day, like, it kind of looks a little green sometimes. Sometimes it looks like darker than normal blue. Like, it's not always blue. But I know if I go down to like Florida, the water's like pretty clear in some places. So it is blue. So of course the ocean's like going to be a bunch of different colors in different areas. Moving on from the language, because I feel like I could just go on about that forever and how ridiculous it was. The actual concept. This has been done so many times, and that's not my main problem. My main problem is that it's been done so many times, and it's been done better so many times. Look at Black Mirror. This is, I feel, the closest I can get to explaining what this book was trying to warn against. Is Black Mirror, the loss of empathy and emotions in like the one where everything is on the phone and you get like social points basically, but also the one where they have everything, your memory is like entirely technologically integrated. That one also I feel is very similar to what is going on in this book. Also, the Lorax. I feel like the Lorax has done this better, showing how consumerism damages the environment, and they use made-up words, but I can understand what they mean. So the Lorax has done this better than this 200-something page book. I just would not recommend it at all. I don't think that it's really saying anything that hasn't been said before, and I think that it says it in a way that is just absolutely ridiculous. It's just not well done. It's just not well done. So to those of you out there who like this book, I'm really sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I just did not enjoy it. And like I said, the concept is just nothing new. We've seen this over and over and over again. So to me, you really have to go the extra mile to make this something that can stand out from everything else that has already been done on the same level. So that's my review, my rant review on Feed by M.T. Anderson. If you like the book, let me know. I don't know how many people are really going to be looking for this because the book is really old, but I really felt like I needed to come on here and talk about it because I feel like the other videos that I was looking at online that reviewed this book were giving it such high praise. And as I'm 21, I am not that old. So as somebody who's able to kind of like still connect with younger generations, I just did not feel like it portrayed younger generations or was able to be as relatable to younger generations at all. It just was not relatable. If you like the book, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons to like a book and to not like a book. This is just my opinion, so please don't come for me. But like I said, I just saw that I might have been the only person on the internet that does not like this book. So I wanted to come out here and say something about it. If you have read the book before, let me know what your thoughts are on it. If you haven't, I'm not going to tell you to go out and read it. But if you're interested, go ahead and let me know what you think. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.